Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekend. Hopefully, you all had a as good as a week so far, and I was able to be a little bit more productive this week as well. So let's take a look at some of the things that I've tried to do. So a lot of them were quite a bit on the kind of not visible side of things, right? So, namely around fixing some of the bugs that I've encountered. Like one of them is just and some things that you don't usually think about. Like for example, mashing the one button. Like equipping a weapon. So trying to add um, a kind of a safety in there, so that would it would be a timeout between um, actions being taken when you press the one of the equipment buttons, one through however many. So basically, you can't like just mash one and then equip and equip, equip and equip, and just like have that thing, the animation it being interrupted. So and that was one thing that I accidentally ran into. Like I tried to just press one multiple times and see what happens, and unfortunately, that's what happened, of course. So yeah, a bunch of other fixes were kind of around weapons and equipping weapons, and just trying to clean up the kind of the parent weapon class. Um, so that was also kind of took some time. And aside from that, I started kind of breaking apart some of these interiors so that the buildings that are not going to be enterable, like say for example these ones. So these ones originally from the developer, they come with interiors, and this is one unit basically. So this is, well, I mean, in this case there's like four of them, but you can imagine the added draw calls that all these interiors would cause, especially if the building is not enterable. So I've started kind of I wouldn't say trimming, but like kind of cutting back these buildings just to the ones that are going to be enterable. So I'll show you some of the work that I've done um, to to try and make those uh, some of these buildings enterable, and I got a couple of them that I can show it to you guys. And along with that, I've started just kind of moving the NPCs into their spots. So for example, this is one of the buildings that's going to be enterable. So there's like a kind of a bit of a back entry back here, and there's like some storage space back there. Then just up the stairs, and in here, there's just kind of like one of the one of the areas where you're gonna need to interact with some of the NPCs. You probably remember some of these two guys from last week. You know, that's kind of creepy. He was like looking right at the camera, and I wasn't in game mode. But the I think that's where his animation blueprint was left. And yeah, I guess they start off by just looking sideways a little bit. Okay, so this being one of them. And yeah, there's besides that the downstairs room, this is pretty basic. So that's what I was one of the things that I was thinking of working on today is some of the kind of adding things to these rooms. And so yeah, let's take a look at the other one, which is the hotel. So if you remember a while back, I was showing you this little mechanic where you can like climb on some of the scaffolding and then just climb through the window, literally. So this would be where that's going to be used. And I was trying to find the best place to use it. Like previously, I think I had it being used on one of these like smaller buildings. There wasn't a lot of thing going on inside. I mean, it was a pretty small building, But with this one, it's a little bit bigger, so there's going to be a little bit of navigating to happen. And namely, once you enter in here, we'll try and also add some kind of directional arrows to direct the player. So you'd be kind of coming through here and then up the stairs, up the stairs. This is kind of um, that kind of photo that I used as a thumbnail, and then back up here. And this is the kind of the top of the building where there's also going to be some interactable folks, and you can see like um, the interiors are going to be kept in place. Um, okay, one thing to note as well is I've been trying to because again um, I I run it on kind of just high settings due to how outdated my video card is. I mean, not outdated, but like it's a 1070, so maybe 8, 9 years old 1070. So it is, um, for lack of a better word, getting long in the teeth. It's just getting past its prime. And like even a PS5's got a better video card than what I have. So yeah, so I've been trying um, to set the lumen lighting as as simple as possible with little as little noise as possible as well. So you see like around here, there's not that much noise going on, and I see like there's like something a little bit happening here on the ceiling, and I think that might be due to the material that I've chosen for the wall because materials are quite important. Like they would show a lot stronger on a very light color material. So for the ceiling, I might change this to something that's a little bit darker, maybe with some kind of dirt in it or something like that. So it would kind of remove a little bit of this little flakiness that you might be seeing. And then when it comes to stairwells, what I've started doing is just applying some of these little um, like wall lights, or so to speak. So that way you're not going to be able to see that much of a noise, especially in the dark areas where the bounce lighting would create that. Oh, hey, Atlantica. So are you going to create two maps for fake interiors? No, I'm not. So what I'm going to do for the fake interiors is literally there's going to be like some of the windows that are like this. With fake cube apps would be awesome, but I don't know how to do. I mean, I there is tutorials for that. There's like the stuff on like the city sample that I could like pull something out of. So definitely doable. But for now, these are just like simple planes for the windows, and they're not transparent. So for example, in this area here, this is not even going to be needed, this part. Um, but yeah, I was thinking of trying it, but at the same time, a lot of these places are going to be kind of boarded up in a way. So if you think a bit about this place, like um, it got boarded up a little bit. And this is, if you look at this, I'm not sure how to fix this issue where I think it's something related to uh, something shadow related and lumen combine, like a combination where on translucent surfaces, there is this kind of pixelation of the shadows. I haven't been able to figure this out. No matter, um, I mean, I think maybe if we go to cinematic shadows, and even at that point, it's not really helping. So I'm trying to be mindful about that. And um, for example, in this case of this, I might just pull out this plank outside of the window. So things like that. Hey, Hochine, welcome, welcome. Hopefully I said that right. And Breeze, hey, it's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. I'm not sure when you last joined, but and Breeze, are you 3 die by any chance? Because I know you changed the your nick a while back, so I just don't want to. mistake you for somebody else. But yeah, let me just go into here real quick. There we go. Okay. Yes. So we'll be adding a few of these guys that we've left around here into our rooms here at the top, wherever that one is. Um, oh, okay. Yeah, cool. I know that I've had somebody else that was stopping by the streams every now and again, and I think he might have changed his nick to something that sounds similar to Breeze, but yeah, I like that. I like that nickname. So by the way, yeah. Okay. So like I said, right now these rooms are very unpopulated. Or I wouldn't. I think it might be. No, this is. I'm not at the right level. Yeah. So this is actually the top level, and this is gonna be blocked. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. That I'm not gonna have this upper level accessible. Right. Wrong shadow on the glass is made by increasing. Yeah, so right now the screen percentage is at like 90, so or at least almost 90. But yeah, let's take a quick look because I was kind of thinking I've tried literally almost everything, and but like I said, since this is not going to be like a full 24-hour cycle kind of thing, it's going to be pretty easy to just bring that surface outside. But yeah, let's see if we were to increase the screen percentage. Yeah, it doesn't really help. So yeah, it's been an issue that I've had ever since Lumen and translucent surfaces. Like even on the water, it's the same issue. So yeah, no worries, Fatine. Thank you for um, thank you for asking and uh, trying a solution because that's also a reason for me streaming is maybe somebody's got an idea about something and it's usually helping me out as well. But what I'll do is just kind of fake it like this. So there we go. That will take care of that. And around here we don't have anything. And it seems to especially on translucent, um, like you have because you'll notice that it doesn't happen for these. Like it doesn't happen for, like kind of it seems to only happen for trees, like in this case, for um I'm not sure if there's like a foliage setup, so I'll have to look into it a little bit. But when it comes to water, like can I find some shadows? Yeah. And yeah, see like on water surface, it's still the same. It's not as obvious, but yeah, over there it was pretty obvious. So we'll just try like this. I think it's gonna be fine. All right. Yeah, so and another thing that I wanted to share to whoever's interested is I mentioned at the start of the stream that I was planning on the levels that the buildings that are not enterable, I'm going to remove the interiors. But the ones that do have interiors, what I've done is I've placed this interior on its own separate level. So um, called it this is like a corner block, and I called it V2 interior. But what I've done with this, since I use world partition, and if anybody else is using it, so with the world partition, you can set this up on a grid. And for me, interiors, I've set them up on a grid called small assets. So if you go into world settings, you'd be able to see, on the runtime settings, a bunch of grids. So here you can set up um, the grid name, its cell size, and I think to me, most importantly, is like the loading range. So for example, large assets are going to load and they're going to be loaded from pretty far away from the player. But like small assets, like these interiors, I'm going to load them like pretty up close. So what I mean by that, let's go into game mode and I'll show you. And this is a pretty good example because the building door is open, so you can see inside the building. But let's jump into game and hopefully this will also kind of help clear some things as well. And why has this frozen like that? There we go. Not sure why I wasn't getting the loading screen, but so right now I'm pretty up close to this, and you know, like the interior level is shown, but if I go a little bit farther, you can see like that level unloads, right? Now the one thing that I need to do, and I just noticed this right now, and again, one of the advantages of kind of streaming a project is when it unloaded it also dropped the characters like the NPCs. So for those, especially like the friendly NPCs, let me minimize some of my. I got about a dozen tabs open, so that usually kind of drains my performance. So yeah, you can see they're not here anymore. They're probably somewhere through yeah, they're right there. So that level unloaded and they actually just um, the level wasn't there anymore, so they fell down because like the everything the physics are still being applied, and you know off they went. So if I was to kind of go outside, oh man, I need to fix some of this stuff around here. It just runs pretty poorly. Um, and I think, oh, I think I know. I think I might have bumped up the settings a little bit too much in that post-process volume without it actually doing anything visual. So they should be down here. Yeah, there we go. They're down there. Um, yeah, and so Breeze, that's exactly it. So what I use for my NPCs, if anybody's interested, is a component called NPC. It's an optimization proxy. So within the optimization proxy, there's a bunch of settings that you can do. So kind of the distance to first wave, second wave, third wave. So all these waves are, you know, controls that you can put on them. So for example, first wave, always check floor. And I think I might, let's see, do I have on one of these that is not checking floor? So I need to check somewhere in here where if I move too far away from it, uh, that you know it's not checking floor, and I'll need to look into that a little bit. I don't think it's first. I don't think it's first wave though. I think that's actually like when you look at them. Um, or oh, they might. So maybe like an LOD. This would be like an LOD one, and they don't account for LOD zero. Um, oh, I see. I see, Atlantica. Oh, good point. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll do a little bit of investigation into this and see what which one of these settings it might cause that. But the cool thing about this optimization proxy, especially when you have like somewhat complex characters, you know, like in this case, metahumans, because you know, um, indie developers don't have the financials for some really custom-made things, but and these are pretty complex. So once you get too far from them, we don't want anything to we want things to stop ticking, maybe some movements to not even happen. Like for example, in the case of the friendly NPCs that are interactable ones, we might want to have something for like like some of these NPCs that just walk around and do activities, like I was showing you last week, like these guys that would just like go between like sitting down at one point, going and leaning up against the wall in a different point and so on. So the guys that might be interactable, they're probably just going to stay in one location and unless they actually have to kind of take you somewhere, right? You need to follow me so we can meet somebody or somebody else. Yeah. So so those were kind of the main updates. Like I said, I've tried um, to work a little bit on the interiors and get kind of a path through the building set up as well. And yeah, so like I said, going in through this window and then up the stairs. Oops, so that was a little bit too fast up the stairs. But coming in through there, then climbing up the stairs. We're gonna need to fix some of these decals that are coming into the interior from the outside. And then walking around here, up the stairs again. Actually, that should be closed, and you should be moving on to this section, and then over here. Um, so let's I think the plan for the rest of the stream would be to kind of finesse these transitions. We'll do a test run as well to make sure that I'm gonna bring uh, that actor that the player can interact with when going through the window, just to test it out again, because you never know what might have gone bad ever since I last tried it. Hey, Schemo, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and welcome. Um, so the optimization proxy, I believe it's not a built-in thing. It's like a thing off of the marketplace. Um, so let me see if I can share that with you if interested, or anybody else that might be watching this. Optimization proxy. Wondering if it's like called something else. That's what it's called, at least in the package. But I actually got it as a monthly free thing, so it was awesome that it was free. But I can't seem to find it anymore. If you have me on Discord, just ping me and I'll try to find it. Hey Breeze, thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good meal. Um, So Atlantica, I wonder what the lighting and shadows would look like in the UE5. Yeah, so I saw that demonstration. I think in the end it's just a matter of how much time do you have to place all the lights, you know. So I'm sure that studios that have you know um the number of people to work on this, they would probably like jump on it and try it out. Um, I'm really curious to see it in a. I mean, that was a practical example, and they said it was running on a PlayStation 5, which is great. And but I would like to see somebody doing an example of it. And I've seen some people like posting things on Instagram and all that. So, but yeah, we'll see if it's we'll see what it is. I think at this point for me is I'm at a place where I just need to optimize things, like reduce draw calls and mainly with things like I was telling you, interiors that don't need to be rendered, interiors that don't need to be there to begin with, which I have a ton of, and I need to clean those up. I mean, a ton is exaggerating, but I do have a good number of them that I need to clean out. Setting up these interiors like this one, which, like for example, right now, this is like the entire building. So you can imagine this is quite a lot of draw calls. There's no pack level actors. So all these are one draw call each, when they should be at this point, it should be only like three, or actually four, because there's like these at the top. I'm not considering the sides, but kind of this front of the building. But right now there's like, what is it, like 16 or 20 draw calls just for this. Plus, if there's like multiple materials on this one, uh, adds even more. So that's my main thing when it comes to that. And as far as the lighting goes, if I can keep what I currently have, I'd be uh, I'd be really happy. Um, oh, NPC optimizer. Yeah, NPC. I think I just didn't have the name right. Uh, one second, I'll just try and look for it. NPC optimization component. Um, yeah, I think it's actually, I think it's this one. So, to anybody that's interested, I think this is, oh, actually, no, it's not that one. It's definitely not that one. It wasn't $350, so my bad. Um, though, you know what? Let me see, what's the name of optimization proxy? I guess it might be this one, so I'm so sorry, guys. Like, yeah, so it is optimization proxy. I think this is the one. Optimization proxy. Yeah, it was like I would not have paid this kind of money. So it definitely was something that was free for the month type of thing. Um, yeah, and you can see like there's like so many reviews written, so I'm sure that without the free sales, there wouldn't be that many reviews. But um, but yeah, this is what I have, which kind of what that tells you is like, uh, pay attention to the sales and whatever they have on there. All right. Yeah, let's get to work. I think first I wanted um, to try the that little blueprint that I have to kind of climb to the window. So just to test that out, make sure this interior is navigable, as is at the moment, so the player can go up the stairs and move around. And then we'll start adding things, kind of give the player a direction on where to go. And yeah, let's see how this turns out. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I think the most that I've paid for an asset was actually this package that has these town shops. I think this is like the most that I've ever paid for a thing, and I don't think it was on sale, but it's it's got a very good pricing also for everything that you're getting. It's an amazing package. Um, okay, yeah, let me bring in that place actors, and I need to place in I think it's a window, an interactable window maybe. I think that's what it might be, and we'll see if this works. But first, let me go like that, and I'm just gonna copy this one and bring it into this level. And because I need this mesh, so I'm gonna use this mesh to change this up here, delete this, and then this one is going to be over here. So let's change the material so they match everything we have here. Oh, I guess I'm gonna need to fix some things here because the wall doesn't apply properly. And but let's see if we can apply it here. There we go. So at least they kind of the walls match. And I think I'm still on the grid, which is good. The only problem is that right now this particular mesh by default it comes with that material that has the like the blinds, you know. So because not most of the buildings are not going to be enterable, and so let's just try and place it as best as we can, which is almost on point, I think. Okay, that's pretty good. So the only thing right now is the interior. So I don't remember. Let's take a look. I wanted to see if the what the player collision looks like because right now it's not as I want it to be. As you can see, you know, like this particular mesh, I want the player to be able to go through the window, and right now he won't be able to. So let's try and edit this particular mesh. Actually, no, I don't think we need to. If I'm not mistaken, I'm actually just moving the player inside. So I think we might be good. Let's test that out. So this being the asset here. Okay, I mean, let's see how bad this is. And also another thing that I was hoping to get done this week, I just didn't get around to it, was the environmental sounds. So basically, right now, if you're able to hear it, I'm gonna try and turn it on in OBS. You'll hear that there's like kind of just a forestry kind of sound, you know, like there's like the birds chirping and all that. And I don't really want to have that in the town. So that's that's one thing that I'm gonna try and address as well. So yeah, right now there's like a ton of NPCs like standing in the same spot, so it kind of bogs down performance quite a bit. All right, well, let's see if we can, you know, climb up top there. Oh yeah, another thing that I was that I had to fix is mantling while you have a weapon attached to yourself. So that was another little fun bit, but that also worked. Yeah, so this is what I meant when with this NPC optimizer. So you see these guys walking around, I hope. Um, so if I was to go a little bit farther away from them, you'll see like they start having this little blue thing around them. Maybe not far enough. You see like the ones on the left here. Yeah, see that one has it as well. So you'll see like there's nothing, like none of the bones are kind of moving. You can, I hope you can tell. Um, so so that's part of that optimization proxy, and that's why it's so powerful. And I kind of get the price, as to be selfish in a way, I'm like, that's so expensive. But at the same time, I know it looks like there was a ton of work that went into it. So, all right, let's see if we can climb through the window. And yes, that worked. Okay, so note to self, it doesn't really need or doesn't really care much about or doesn't need the collision, or it can have the collision. That's what I mean. Too many words in my head at the same time. All right, so this one here, I'm also going to remove, but it's also like another level with a ton of draw calls that, doesn't have to be rendered only up close. So basically, again, having it on a grid that's rendered when you're close to them. All right, so let's see if you can like walk around here. So like I said, this one's already blocked access over here. We need to close this gap off here. Then, oh, interesting. So this stair needs to have collisions. And then up the stairs. And then back into this area. So now there's going to be like this set of stairs is going to be blocked. And then kind of directing the player onto this set of stairs. And I'm going to try and minimize some of my tabs over here. Maybe it's going to work a little bit better. Yeah, I think it does. And then up here where you're going to meet some other folks, and as well as on this side. And this section here is going to be blocked. I'm still wondering if I should keep this, but yeah, probably not. Maybe I'll keep it, but again, just doors that are locked. So there we go. Oh yeah, Lanika, how did you make walking the stairs so smooth? Well, it's not smooth. It's kind of not showing you in third perspective or like in third person view because it's going to look pretty bad. So if I was to go into third person, you'll tell right away why it's so smooth. Yeah, so there you go. That's why it's so smooth because the collision itself is, um, so for starters, not that it's gonna matter. Like I turned off foot IK, and also like especially when it comes to stairs, I've just made it so that it's just a kind of a flat surface. So it's not like the stairs just blocks, blocks, blocks. Because I was really getting annoyed with how it how it was jerking around, right? So it's like giving somebody a seizure just by like going up like that. So yeah. Um. All right. Well, so I think everything is navigable. There's not a lot of noise. There's like a little bit here on the ceiling, as you can tell. But once you throw in a few decals, that should help. And also, I'm gonna try and find like a little bit of a darker material for the ceiling. And yeah, it's worked a lot better with this. Like you can see around here is still there's still some, but not extremely bad. So yeah. All right, so let's try and navigate back. I don't think I'm gonna be. Actually, I haven't tried it out to see if I can like climb back out through the window, though I think it might be possible. Let's not get lost because I'm also kind of navigating this for the first time. All right, so in certain areas of the buildings where, like you saw on the other side, that there was some light coming from the sun, so that really helped with lumen. But where there isn't any, while there's still some lumen coming through, it wasn't enough. So here for these windows, I've placed a couple of rectangular lights just to add a little bit of this additional lighting in there. All right, so let's go down here, and I think I'm going to be able to exit through here. All right, so there we go. We're back outside. So that worked. And while it's not a parkour game, there's still some like I was able to jump and like grab onto that ledge. So um, good. Okay. So with that said, let's see, where do we want to start? Um, I think if we can get the section for the stairs done. Yeah, and you can see like right now um, what that's from and why this area is not going to be accessible is from this. This this light here is not while it's not very big, it's big enough that it kind of, you know, comes into here and shines on top of that. And it's also not casting shadows, or maybe, oh, it is. Um, so, oh, but I actually have two of them, one that does cast shadow and one that doesn't. So I think it's might be coming from this one. Yeah, and I think this one might be using the light function to flicker. Okay. Well, so this space is not going to be enterable, and I think we should be fine. There's nothing on this side. But I was telling you about these rectangular lights that I'm using here. So basically, it'd be kind of like this, just to fake a little bit, kind of the light coming from outside. You know, just to fake that a little bit. Okay. So yeah, let's start adding some things. Maybe removing some things that we don't need, you know, reducing some of our performance draw, and yeah, let's get to work. One thing to note here is that these are three separate levels, and I might just join them all into one level and then creating a packed level actor for the entire the static meshes that are like the walls. So that's why I want to have, you know, the walls on one level, and then the interior, everything that goes with the interior on a separate level. So that way, everything that's so repetitive, like these wall pieces, you know, like the the pieces of wall that have the windows, you know, can all be once they get placed into a packed level actor, it's just going to be one instance of them. Well, not one instance, but one item that has multiple instances. So basically being just one draw call. If it's just if it's got one material, or two, if it's got like a, you know, like the window trim and some other things around the brick. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, um, these and these are currently just their own separate levels, and they're kind of spelled that way, you know, like hotel bottom section, and the other one is also bottom section, and then this one is just the top section. But kind of putting them at the end into you know, joining them into one level, and then creating a pack level actor would should help immensely with reducing the draw calls. So yeah, let's get to work. Enough of me blabbering on this stuff. Let's do some fun stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think what I wanted to, and this kind of is just that it bugs me a little bit. I'm just gonna try and fix these decals so they're not kind of going through the building. Let me see if I can select them here, here, and here. Those, at least some of them. There we go. And that's much better. All right, and this guy here. There we go. Then this big one. Just like that. All right, let's see. Did I grab, I think this one. I didn't do this one yet. All right, so I think that might have removed that issue with those decals coming through, like the exterior drain draining into inside the building. All right. So again, for some of these darker spaces back here, some of them I'm gonna leave them like that, but some just gonna use some of these lights around here, that I mentioned a little earlier. So just placing them here and there should, like I said, should also help with alleviating some of the noise that might come from Lumen, especially on a uh, like a lower end graphics card like mine. And so that should help. So let me just cover this bit here. I don't know about that. I think it might be better. And I think at this point, I might want to actually join these two levels together because it's not necessarily a pain, but I'm kind of jumping between them. So let's do that. Let's we kind of use that as a kind of a cleanup opportunity as well. So we got this piece here, which is like the hotel bottom section, and then this part here is also like called the hotel bottom section, and we'll join them together. The one thing that I'm not sure about, uh, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So in order to do that, like right now, what I have is um, I'm using world partition, right? So the way that I'm planning on doing this is so those two are the same um, the same name, same level. And what I'm going to try and do is open one of these up like separately, and then in the levels window, which is not accessible when if you're using world partition. So if I go into levels here, this feature is disabled when world partition is enabled. But if I go into one of these levels, I can use that window and bring the other two levels in. The one thing that I might need to do is kind of a little bit of kind of try to place them in their right spots. And then I can just break the levels down and then have them all be one level. So yeah, let's do that. But before I do that, I'm just going to quickly go to GitHub because this is one thing that we should be doing before we make any changes is, submitting everything. Um, so I'm going to call this before joining hotel levels into one. So if things go bad, we have a point that we can go back to. All right, so this is committing and then, okay, so now that that's committed, I'm just going to quickly push it to origin. So if you're not using source control, please do. Yeah, so this should only take but a little bit of time. There were only uh, no new assets or new textures, so it should be pretty quick, pretty small commit. Okay, there we go. So now we can mess about, and if we break something, we got something to go back to. All right, let's open this up, and I think the other one were called hotel bottom section. All right, so let's see how this goes. Save that. Oh, I forgot to save it. My bad. And I'm just gonna do another quick commit with this. There were just a few small files. Uh, I always suck at coming up with a good name um, for for my commits. Atlantica. Oh, 210 gigabytes. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. Um, but at least, at least, backup um, like not necessarily like the all the texture assets and all that, but like blueprints and any code that you might have, custom stuff, materials, and like things that are not of a big size but might have a big impact, right? If you lose them. So Scheme, are you using GitHub as backup or something? Yeah, so I'm using it as source control. So basically, are you familiar with source control? I can give you a little bit of a synopsis, a very quick, um, you know, from the International Space Station overview. All right, so in here, we can go into levels, and then I got the primary level, which is, they call it a persistent level, and then I can add an existing level, and that is the hotel bottom section. So let's add this in wherever it might have been placed. And I think it might be placed right at origin because that's how I've set them up. All right, so right now you'll see that we can select each one of these pieces. They belong into, you'll see down here which level they belong to. Like for example, this one is hotel bottom section. This one here is also bottom section. So if I hide this, the only thing that you're left with is like the persistent level. So now if I right click hotel bottom section, I'm just going to try and kind of place them, put them in its right place. So I'm just going to go and select actors. So now this selects everything in that hotel bottom section. And you can see like there's a little bit of a gap in the middle. That's where the stairs are. So I'm just going to place this and I'm going to match it mostly based on the interior. And then I know that I have another one of these levels and I'm going to need to place it next to it. So one thing that I'm not entirely sure if possible, I don't think you can add them twice. So with the world partition, you can add the same level multiple times, but with levels, I think you can only add it once. So, so I think I'm just gonna duplicate this and and copy the assets over on that side. So so Scheme we're GitHub or like any kind of source control uh, tools, like think of um, Perforce. I think it's a very familiar one with like game development people because they have it. It's they don't like Perforce. I think doesn't offer hosting, so you just set it up on your local server somewhere, and that's where you commit your changes. Where you push your changes. So the way it works is, aside from hosting your files, you also have a history of them. So basically, like when I was doing this commit in here, that I just did, like here's the history. So you can see like um, these two commits that we did before going and making this change with kind of a big change to this level is um, if I break something here, and then say the editor doesn't load anymore, I broke an essential blueprint or I broke my level entirely, you can, with Git, you can revert back to your previous change. So basically going back a step, going a step back when things were working just like I have now. So, in case I fail at this and so I break something, then I can go back to what I previously had, like just before going and starting doing this. Go into that first that commit that I just did. So that is a very oversimplified, quick explanation. Hopefully that gives you an idea on what it can do and what it's used for, basically. All right, let's see how this looks. It seems to be actually somehow it's actually pretty good. Okay, so let me duplicate these assets here and flip this building around. and try and position it as best as I can. They're a little bit lower, so I'm gonna um, need to move them a little bit. Cause see, like they're a little bit off from the other level, which shouldn't be a problem. But these two buildings, so they're also not really connected that much. So I'm not extremely worried of it. But what I'll do is just so that I have a little bit of an easier time selecting them. I'm just gonna I'm gonna create a new level, empty level. So I'm gonna call this bottom section back. This might help me quite a bit. Okay, so now with this one selected, what I'm gonna do is everything that I have in here, so this is kind of the back of the building. So I'm just gonna press Control M, and all these assets are gonna get moved onto this level here. So basically now I can just, you can see like I can just select these and just hide them. So there we go. So now it's easier for me to kind of, select this, and let's see, select actors. So I got the kind of the top portion of the building. I'm going to try and position it based on one of these contact points here. So I think right here would be fine. So literally where these two connect, right about there. There we go. So as you can see, we're going up. And I think I might need to move it off a little bit because there's some things poking through. We don't want that. And also forward. There we go. So this is about where we had it positioned the last time. Oh, how did that go over there? A little too much. So there we go. Okay. So that is pretty good. Now that I have this in place, it is looking good outside. Like, not that the player is going to be able to access these points, but um, you never know what the player would want to do. So there we go. That's pretty good there. And it might be off this way a little bit. Let's see. Did I break something? Something is looking off. So that's the front. This is the back of the building. So when you're gonna come in, you're coming in through here, climbing up the stairs, going through this entrance. This is in the right spot. All right, then climbing up the stairs. There's a little bit of this overhang from the outside, then over here, then up the stairs and over in here. So this is good, but I think there's a little bit of an issue. That was actually good because there's like a little bit of a floor trim that would go there. So the only thing at the moment is this little bit here, which I kind of thought that I had fixed or had something going for it, but apparently not. And this will be where the player is going to come through. So going up through here and into here. So let's see, this is in the persistent level. Select actors and let's see. Where do we want to move this? don't think it was that far off. Oh yeah, Schemos, you're welcome. And if you ever have issues with it, just ping me on Discord and I can uh, I can try to just. I'm not a uh, you know any kind of expert when it comes to Git, but you know for these uses that we have, I think I should be able to help if you ever need to. All right. Well, this one has a little bit of an issue with this little piece. Oh, actually, no. My bad. I'm so silly. So it comes up the stairs here, goes up here. Yeah, I was just in the wrong side of the building. Um, the one that we never go to. It's like this part here, it looks a little messy, but it's not navigable. So it's um, once you go up the stairs here, up the stairs, there's only this little bit here that uh, has a little bit of a weird or a funky thing. And then through here and up the stairs. So there we go. Yeah, no biggie. That's a simple fix. But now that we have this like this, so basically we're still looking at three levels. But what I plan to do is actually save this as hotel, just one level. So I'm gonna go and do file, save current level as, and this is gonna be um, so let's call this gonna call it let's call it hotel for now. And then we'll split it into like hotel exterior and hotel interior. So I think um, I and yeah, so saving as it still keeps the previous level, but at least now we have a hotel, a level that we can move everything into. So let's do that. So to do that, I'm just gonna right click, select actors in here, and then with this one being selected, you see like it's got the bold blue. So you just double click on it, like you can double click on one of these and have it selected. Then if you press Control M, everything is going to get moved into that level, or it should have. Why is it not? Where did it go? That is kind of odd. Why would it not go there? Huh. I think it might have. It just had a weird thing where hmm, I can't tell what happened. All right, so now select these ones and move them into the hotel level as well. So now everything is hotel level. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save and let's see, choose files to save. And I think we can save everything as the hotel level. So let's save that. Save all. So now you can see that everything is under the hotel level. Not entirely sure what these, I think if you hide something, some of these assets still show, like it looks like the lights. That's kind of a little odd, but anyways, it's no biggie. Hey, Bad Tunes, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so today I am working on, well, first of all, trying to join everything that is of the hotel into two levels, basically, like a hotel exterior and a hotel interior. There's also going to be another thing to note is, and I'm probably going to keep this under the hotel exterior. And what I was referring to is the windows. So the windows, they have their own little history with game development, so to speak. You want to render them only when you're close to a building, right? So, I might want to see the building, here, but at this distance, I don't want the windows to be rendered. So it's in the same kind of the same fashion as like small assets. You don't want to see like a cigarette butt rendered from up here, out here. And so I'm going to do a little bit of testing on this. There's a couple of ways that I was thinking of doing it, either through, um, and you'll see like I'm using the same asset a number of times, these kind of these four sets of windows, right? And then there's like on the back side as well. Then there's also four and then three. So, uh, and then there's single ones. So for these ones, but I'm, um, I'm gonna see whether I want to split them and have them in their own little level, which has um, a streaming distance, like a grid that is very close. So, it only renders that when you're really close, or just have them like literally select them and down in where is it? Distance, so minimum draw distance, have these set to a very, very low distance. So that way, along with putting them into a pack level actor, which is probably going to be this entire level, hopefully it's gonna, and I haven't tested this with like an instance static mesh, which this is gonna turn into. Um, I haven't tested out to see how that's gonna look. So it's gonna be a little bit of trial and error. So yeah, but yeah, bad tunes. So that's like I said, trying to get this level, this hotel into one level. One level. I mean, uh, let's call it two levels because one of them is going to be the exterior walls, and one of them is going to be everything that's on the inside. So like all this stuff. And along with that, hoping uh, to um, to do a little bit of set dressing, kind of just adding some things on the inside and kind of, building the scene a little bit, directing the player in a way so it knows where they need to go, not have them kind of run around down some corridors and all that kind of stuff, which is, it's also fun, but I know sometimes I get frustrated because I can't really orient myself very well. So yeah, there's going to be some of the levels that are going to be more disorienting like that, but I just don't want to overdo it. So let's actually create another level that's going to be the hotel interior. So let's create a new one, empty level, and this is going to be hotel interior. And like I said, this will be a level that only gets displayed when you're like uh, is on a grid that has a very low rendering distance. All right, so I'm going to start by selecting some of these, and I think it's going to be pretty easy because they're all pretty much named the same or very similar. So SM underscore interior underscore wall, and you'll see like there's 462 of these, which I'm not sure if it's actually my bad, 78 of these. I was like, well, there's not that, there can't be that many. But yeah, I'm gonna grab them all and let's actually go like this. Not, there we go. So in here, again, this is, I double click this, it's turned into blue. So now once I move it over, it's just gonna be on this level. So I can hide it like that. So I'm gonna keep this hidden just to see like all these things disappearing basically. And now let's just do also interior, these pieces, and move them over. Then these pieces, upper floor. So again, they're all just labeled interior, which is very useful. Then these guys, door frames with the doors. Let's move those over as well. Then the store doors. I'm gonna try and make sure that I'm not selecting the front entrances as well. So let's move those over. And that is pretty much it. Like, oh yeah, the stairs. I mean, this is kind of just something custom that I've created. So there we go. We should be able now to clean up some of the stuff that is not going to be usable and we don't really want it. So let's just delete some of these pieces. This one I might keep because it's that ending right there. So, and that one I might keep because it's out there. Uh, okay, I think everything else should be part of the exterior. Like I said, I'm gonna um, like experiment a little bit with how the windows, kind of the best approach for the windows. Like I said, my thoughts are to keep them as part of the exterior because, you know, like here, for example, I have one, two, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is a blueprint, so that doesn't really count. So there's like 9 of them, um, and you know, so there's 2 separate materials. So, but if they were to be put, and this is only on this side of the building, but if you go onto the other side of the building, there's like probably 9 more, or yes, 10 more. So that is 20 draw calls right there. Um, Once you put them on um, into a pack level actor, excuse me for a second. So once they're on a pack level actor, this should be only 2 draw calls because there's going to be 2 different materials. So that's I think at least that's how my math works. And in my very I know enough to be dangerous game development knowledge is where we're at. Okay, let's see if there's a little bit more that we can cut out of this that is not needed. For example, this piece, that piece. Um, let's see what else. This piece, these ones, these ones, these ones. This one is just on the inside, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, quite a bit of cleanup, a lot of assets getting removed, which is always good. And that you know, we're not gonna see, it's not they're not gonna get rendered. And some of these down down spouts, down spot, I'm just gonna make them into like a separate blueprint that is quite dynamic and it's a little bit more optimized. So there we go. Okay. I think, oh, and this one here I can also remove. So that's a good cleanup, I think. And um, so now I have this one. I have the hotel interior and the hotel level all cleaned up. So there's our interior. Let's try and take the path again, see how things are looking. So we're up to here, we're going up to here, up to here, up through here, through here, through here. This is the little bit that I need to fix, which should be pretty simple. Also, this interior, I need to move to a little bit to the left because the window is kind of poking through weirdly. Hey Bob, buonasera, salud, salud. How are you? How are you? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, interior and a little bit of lighting, so you'll see a little bit, just a little bit. All right, so then up the stairs, up to where our NPCs are gonna be. So there we go. Going down through here, and out the window. Yay. Okay, perfect. Now I got the 2 levels. So I got the interior and the level, which I should have called exterior, but okay, my bad. Um, and now, you know, kind of cut a bunch of the actors out as well. So let's take a look. I wanted to um, I'm gonna leave it as is for now, and I I'm gonna bring this like this exterior and interior level. I'm gonna bring them into the main world and kind of get a look at how things work before I turn them into um, I'm probably going to do that later on tonight. I just wanted to kind of make some backups of them, just so that if I need to get back to them to the original level, not the pack level, I can without breaking anything. So let's jump into the main world here and replace those three individual separate levels with just two. And of course, um, two organized ones, one that has the exterior walls and one that's the interior walls. Kind of like I showed you in the beginning with that corner building where the exterior walls was one level, interior walls was a separate another level. So yeah, let's take a look. So we're back in here. Some things might look a little bit different because I've moved some things around. So let's bring in, kind of turn the lights on. And this is one of the reasons that I bring up, GitHub. Now, if I was to like make make mistakes, I can just go back here, and I'm usually um, this part. I am not entirely sure, to be honest, how you do it in GitHub. I mean, in GitHub Desktop in this application. But what I would normally do is in and this is again if anybody is using this and if it runs might run into these issues. So in my browser in here, I'm a little bit more comfortable with the with git bash. So using like the command line. So in here, you probably noticed that I've done this a bunch of times. So you would have a bunch of commits, and this is like the idea of that commit. So you can reset um, everything that you have here, and this is like the Git directory that keeps all that history. Um, so you can reset that, and if you use like a reset dash dash hard, it moves you back to that point in time basically. So you can see like some of them are like this, Git reset dash dash hard origin, which is like the latest commit I just did. In my case, you know, this quick commit. Um, I'm not entirely sure how you would, like I said, how you would do it. I haven't tried it to look into it that much. How you would do it in GitHub Desktop and the application itself. I'm sure there's a way, but like I said, um, I know enough to be dangerous and to like be able to manage things and save myself a bunch of times when I had issues like this. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea. All right. Well, let's bring in that those two levels, the hotel and the exterior and the hotel interior. Just like this one here that I mentioned. So we have this corner block, which is its own little level instance, and then we have the interior, which is its own level instance. Hopefully you can see on top of that little watermark from Windows. But so there's the interior, with everything that's inside of it, and then the exterior. And like I said, the interior with its grid, runtime grid of small assets, meaning only gets rendered when you're close. Okay. Yeah, let's bring in the hotel. So for that, just gonna go to place actors, and this is gonna be a level instance. If I can spell, that would help. So there's my level instance there. And in here, I'm gonna check to see this is called hotel underscore level. So there's that. Let's place it about where it was before, shall we? And good thing is that I have these little things around it, like this little scaffolding that you go through the window, some of this sidewalk. Like see here, it's a little bit too far away. So let's just move it a little bit closer to about there. I mean, this is a little bit off, so I'll fix that. All right. And is it too low? It looks like it's too low. Let's just try and place it about where it's supposed to be. There we go. All right. So this is the exterior. Let's get the interior in here. So just going to duplicate this, and this one's going to be the interior level. And let's see if it's placed about where it needs to be. I hope it will. Let's get into a spot where we had some of the lights. There we go. Now it's looking good. The nice thing with these levels are that you can just like move everything inside it like this really easily. All right, so there's that. It looks like it's where it's supposed to be. There's a little bit of issues here with some of these walls, like kind of the interior poking through the outer walls, but that's not that big of an issue at the moment. We can solve that. All right. Let's take a look up in here if everything is looking good and in the right spot. I think it could be a little lower to match it a little bit better. Let's see. I'm just trying to like, if you see this like dotted outline, that's what I'm trying to like get to fit the window a little bit better. Yeah, you can see here, this is one, so out of this package, I did have to go in and hack a bunch of the a bunch of the assets, but that was just to kind of fit my needs, like namely to have a window on this side along with this window. And yeah, the Boolean that I performed was not the best, and that's one thing that I can't really figure out the in the modeling tool to when you do a Boolean, a cut, to not do it through the entire mesh, like literally to not just cut everything. Just do it on that first surface data you encounter, but I don't think it works that way. So good old Blender for the rescue. All right, so back in here, we're going. This one is looking good here. We're positioned pretty decent. That's good. Okay. So yeah, Bob, you can tell a little bit better now with the lighting, like what the interiors are like. Um, so I'm just trying to like see there's like a little bit of an issues here, and this is in my hotel level, so I can just go back in here and edit it and kind of fix things. So for example, let's go and edit. So for this one is one of them, which is just need to like kind of make it all kind of thin it out a little bit. And then this is the other one, which is kind of is just poking through the wall. So let's also do that. And from the ground, you're not going to be able to tell um, that we're doing that. There we go. And let's see, what's this piece here? Oh, I need to like maybe thin it out a little bit too, not by much, but and then this one. Sometimes you gotta work with what you got, and I just don't want to create new meshes because I don't want to. I'm trying to reduce my draw calls and not increase it by creating new meshes. All right, let's see how this looks now. All right, so I think that's better. Like the issue, where was the issue happening? I think it was happening Now I am the one getting lost. It was happening somewhere around here, so that's good. It's not happening anymore. Perfect. Yeah, so see now I got the interior level and I can edit the entire section of the interior. Um, and I can set this one, as I was mentioning before, I can set this to be on a small assets runtime grid. So small assets. So that way it only gets rendered once you're really close to it because you're not going to be able to see too much from far away, you know. A lot of the bottom windows are going to be blocked off like this. You know, there's just walls down through here. So um, so basically um, you'll have to be pretty close to actually need to see uh, in the building, you know, like or you'd have to be really close to the building to think that you should be able to see in the building, right? Hope that made sense. I mean, even at work when I'm trying to explain to people, I'm like, did that make sense to you? It kind of made sense in my head, and um, yeah, trying to not confuse folks. But okay, great. So we fixed those decals. Those are not coming through inside the building anymore. Um, yeah, we have this part here that we're trying to get to settle up. So let's go ahead and get into the interiors and do some work. All right, first things first. This package is extremely modular. I mean, I love it. It's some of these are set up in a way which I wouldn't call it. I get it from one aspect. On the other side, it's a little bit not hard, but so they're like this. They're like kind of I'm not sure if you think of a long cylinder, kind of like a cylinder slice, you know, so you like kind of put these together like just one, two, three, four, and create an entire hallway or an entire interior. And I like that idea as well, but it's you know, in cases like this, when there's like this little offset here, it makes it a little bit difficult. But the package also has a bunch of just singular pieces of wall like this. So this is what I'm probably going to end up using. Um, so basically just putting this one here, just like that. So totally fine. It's um, it's easy to use. All right, so for this one, I'm just gonna increase the scale of it as so that it fits. There we go. Okay, and let's see some of these pieces here. I'm just gonna need the ceiling plaster to use it here like that. There we go. Okay, that's good. And you can see this is what I meant by using some of these lights to oh, and apparently looks like some of them might have gotten left in the exterior level. And since I'm here, I'm also going to place this on a runtime grid. So large assets. So they don't get they it doesn't get rendered all the time, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and edit this one and see if I can select um, some of these lights and put them into the interior level. They don't need to be on the exterior level actor. And I think these are the only two. Oh no, three. And I think that's about it. All right, so let's cut them out of here. Exit. Then in my interior, edit this one and just paste them in. So there we go. We have we have some of that going, and everything, all the interior now is one level. So let's play a little bit with, oops, there's a little bit of a gap there. What you doing over there? What's wrong with you? Let's see how we can manage that one real quick. Because it's just there. So I'm thinking it might just be like a plane that I'm gonna use, like really just a flat plane. Because yeah, that's, when you're trying to, you do have the limitations of what the original developer made. And once you start kind of kit bashing things together, you're gonna end up having to make some adjustments. So that's all totally fine. All right, so let's try and get this one in there. Though I'm trying to think if I think it might be better if this one is actually a cube. And then we'll apply the interior walls to it and just place it there. Okay, that kind of works. I think there might be better options, but that's what my brain was able to cook up right now. All right. Now, this little light that I have here, um, this one also has an option um, to add indirect intensity, right, to the light. So if I was to bump this up, and now this is not, one of those maybe don't try it at home because it can introduce um, some artifacts. So use in moderation, but I think maybe that would work, so we can get a little bit of additional light around here. And maybe this one can have a little bit of a larger radius. Yeah, so just trying to play a little bit with the lighting in here. And let's see if we can. I think this one still works. Oh, there we go. I couldn't recall because I made some changes to this blueprint yesterday, and I couldn't recall if I messed up the volumetric intensity. Yes, I think that's a little bit too much. So that one's 10. I think 10 is fine. I just don't want to go overboard with it. Okay. And maybe we can make this cone a little larger. To add a little bit of light. I don't really like complete darkness. Um, like areas where it and this is not complete darkness. Um I've seen some games that, and I mean, probably that's the point of the game, where it's like complete. Unless you turn on like a flashlight or a torch or something, you literally can't see anything, and that's a little. I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of that, but again, it might be just because that's how the game was designed. So in here. I want to have some light coming into these corners. And of course, maybe it's a little too much at the moment. Let's see if we can reduce it a little bit. So yeah, there we go. Play a little bit with these angles, kind of like that. There we go. I think I was fine with this one being, a little bit double in intensity. I don't mind that. All right. So later this afternoon, I'm going to work on just getting all these walls to have the same wall texture, like this little plaster instead of this really brand new, the building was just built type of plaster. And so yeah, I'm also gonna need to fix this here. This opening is a little, like I said, it's a little off. Um, yeah, so there we go. We're back in here. One thing that I wanted to try, at least before the end of the stream, is there's gonna be some areas inside the buildings that are not gonna be navigable. And like, going up the stairs here, for example, you don't want to this is a pretty good example that you can go up the stairs, but then these doors would be locked. But there will be like areas, let's see, where were we? The other section of the building, like here. So for example, this is, it's kind of all busted. It's not, I mean, it's not usable. So in sections like this, like here, I want this area to be blocked either by some, not necessarily debris or, construction material or anything like that, but more like maybe like a cart or some things like that. This being like a hotel, maybe it's like um, I don't know, like a cleaning cart fell down the stairs, if you think about it. So, so something like that would block the player from moving up the stairs. And I'm seeing like a little bit of a thing here where this section should not be a window. I mean, the one above it. So let's try and add a couple of a few pieces here, and we'll do some physics simulations just so that we see how they work. But for that, I might actually go into that level um, because it's going to be a lot easier to simulate the physics. That level is a little too complex, and it will try and load everything. So let's see. Do we remember where we were here? Okay, so right in here is where we want to try and get some suitcases, some things, kind of uh, what would go in a hotel, right? Maybe like one of those luggages carts, though, what would they be doing here? One thing that I forgot and I haven't thought about, um, I mean, I kind of gave it a little bit of thinking, but right now it's just blocked off by a door, is an elevator. It's a hotel, hey, where would you have an elevator? So I was thinking of placing that. If you remember, we were like walking down around here, and let me see. So there was a little bit of a space. Let me see. Where did I think of putting it? Right here. So if you think about it, there's like spacing here, enough spacing here that that elevator could work. Now I need to see, and this is all areas that are not really accessible by the player. So it would look really cool, and I'm gonna try and come up with uh, an option to have like an elevator here or like an elevator door. And this is where I was. this, as far as the building goes, this is the placement where I was thinking to put an elevator. Now, there's only going to be one level. You're going to be able to see the elevator, but yeah, it would uh, help a little bit in, okay, this is like, um, it's not a house, it's like a kind of a business type of thing. So having an elevator in there. So I'll try and come up with a solution for this. Again, it's not going to be a interactable, enterable, or anything like that, but um, just to make it more believable that it's a hotel kind of thing. All right, so let's go back to trying to simulate some of that because I've actually enjoyed simulating ever since I've discovered physics simulations. I've been doing it every single minute. So we'll play some things over here and try to get them to fall down and hopefully arrange themselves in a way. Scheme Gauss, where did you learn level building? Not sure if that's is the correct term. Yeah, it's level building, I think. Level design, level building. Actually just by doing it. So it's I'm completely self-taught. There are some things where sometimes I reach out to friends, like when it comes to something that I don't know, so they would explain to me, okay, this is how you should be doing it. This is, wrong, or you're doing it right, but you should change it like this, or but yeah, that's pretty much just uh, and in the end, I just make a lot of the stuff that I use are marketplace assets because I do like the name of the stream, I'm on my own. And so I would not be able to make this if I was like creating all the assets and all that. Not with a full-time job and, like having to mow, having to rake, having to do all that stuff. Um, so yeah. And like Atlantica says, thank you so much. A lot of it, came from the level building part. That's what translated over from CryEngine. Level building and kind of, level design and some of the concepts of trying to keep things optimized, which right now, since I have so much stuff in here, it's not very optimized. But um, yeah, and a lot of it was, like I said, just by doing. And a lot of times when I play a video game, I just uh, hang around uh, and just look at like a structure, and I'm trying to figure out how it was made. And then, if you look at it in the context of the entire world around that structure, you kind of get some ideas. And after that, it's just, things start working. And of course, like Alanika says, there's, like the YouTube videos. I actually haven't read any manuals, which, yeah, um, it's not something they should tell people, but that's my case. Um, like I haven't read besides like watching YouTube tutorials and reading through some of the documentation. I um, I haven't read anything. Oh, thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, I think ever since I was little, I really liked kind of building stuff. So that might have helped. I I think. Um, and yeah, like taking things, even if it was like a cabinet or something, or taking things apart and fixing things, um, yeah, like it was, it was fun. It's and this is kind of, when it comes to game development, I definitely like doing all this stuff, and I might be a little selfish, like I just want to do everything this entire game by myself. There's definitely things that I can do, like voice acting and all that, even though I do have a few recordings of myself for like just general kind of crowd stuff. But you know, I I don't get bored that way. Like I've never felt bored when doing this, and I think that's um, you. I think you could very easily um, get bored if you only do one thing, and that's why I'm kind of like um, I like doing every single aspect of this. All right, I think that might look a little bit better with these stairs in kind of mirroring each other and not they looked a little off when I was looking at them. But yeah, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate that. All right, so let's try and add some things to this. We're coming up on the 2 hour marks, and I don't want to keep people for too long. So we'll get this going, and we'll continue some of that tomorrow. Hey, system. Yo, how's it going? How's it going? All right. Well, let's check out and see what can we bring in there. I think maybe some suitcases might work. So we'll place a few of them here, like this and that and that. Let's see, maybe some boxes, maybe. Let's see, what can we find here? It's kind of interesting, like for to fill out a world, you see like a lot of cardboard boxes in games, right? Or because they're like kind of simple, they're like um but I am running into the problem of having too many of them and the hard time of picking a subset or a set of them that I'm going to use throughout the game because they're all so nice and I can't figure out which one I want to keep, which is kind of interesting to think about. All right, let's add a few pizza boxes. Um, I'm trying to place them in different positions so that when I simulate, they're gonna kind of fall around. Also, I'm not trying to go with something too extreme like this. I'm not sure how the collision for that is gonna be. So we'll see how these are gonna end up. All right, let's put a couple of these boxes like this. Oh no, no, why would it be placed outside the level? I want it to be inside the level. There we go. All right. So we'll do a simulation with these. So what I do is I like kind of select everything like this. Oh, another thing. So I want to limit the player from going up there, and I might want these to be further down the stairs. So I'm just gonna try and get them so that they stop. Like there's like one stubborn little suitcase that stops everything from rolling down the stairs. So I'm gonna try and get a few of them like kind of placed in here. We'll see how this works. And a very stubborn little box. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna leave them like this for now. We'll probably place some more of them, but I want to see how this turns out. All right, so select all of these pieces. All right, there are good enough. So I'm just gonna bring them around where I want them to start kind of falling down and simulate the physics. Then simulate physics, and then if I should press Alt S, they should start kind of falling. Whoa, where did they go? That wasn't bueno. Hey, what's going on? Oh, so this is since it's multiple level, or let me see real quick. So hotel interior level. So it's, I think if I go the way I have set up uh, my project is, and it's probably not the best way, but it once you go into game, it loads your menu so you can select your option, load game, go into game. So apparently that is also pulled in when you simulate, and it doesn't load the current level, the one that I'm interested in, this hotel interior level. So what I'm gonna need to do is actually um, under level blueprint, I think I should be able to do in load level or something like that. Level instance. Is it level instance? Not level instance, but or stream. I can't remember what the load stream level, I think. All right, so let's see. Should block on load, make it visible, and the name of it is hotel interior level. Let's see, can we copy the name of this? I thought there was a way you can copy it, but hotel underscore interior underscore level. All right, so let's see if this is my hope that once I simulate, there we go. So they all got piled up onto those stubborn little pieces there, which is good. Okay, so I'm just gonna cancel this simulation first. And I'm not sure why not all of them got simulated, but I got enough space here that I'm gonna duplicate these and get the pile to be a little bigger. Let's just twist them around and select all these pieces. This is kind of like the annoying part that you can, having to select these, but and I know there is, I think there is like a little, there's a package that has like a little very useful blueprint. I think it's like a trash package on the marketplace that I think I might have, and they have this little blueprint where you can put a bunch of assets into it and then just simulate it, and it does, literally everything that I'm doing here for you. But yeah, we should be good. All right, let's try and simulate again and see where things fall. But they did not. Those at the top. Why did they? Oh, there's like a floor here. Oh, my bad. Didn't realize that. So let's try and like twist them around like this. Uh, let's see where all this is gonna tumble down. Oh, that's actually not that bad. And those got left on the floor. Okay, so now once they're in place, I'm just gonna press K and save the states for all these actors. So now they should be still in place like that. All right, so this is kind of what I meant by wanting to block the player from thinking that they can go that way for starters, and also you shall not pass. So let's do a couple of these things here. All right, so oh yeah, I mean I think this guy did not have it, simulation did not complete, so it's still, yeah, there's still a little bit off there, but we can fix that. Okay, that's acceptable. And this section here, yeah, so these fell nicely onto the boxes. And then this section here, I'm just going to block it off and place a blocking volume. So let's, I think it was called a blocking volume. There you go. All right, so let's get this one in here. So the player definitely can't start climbing up the stairs. The one thing that, so they might kind of turn around like this, and they might see something. So I'm thinking, let's see if we can like use this one more piece of this um, here. Okay, like that. So, and this one's the exterior wall, and I want this to only be like just a plain brick wall, like that. Okay. So that way, um, even though this is like all messy and it's nothing really here, the player can tell that there's another level, but they can't get to it. So, EskimoS. I haven't tried in Unreal, but in another engine I used, I found it better to randomly rotate through objects before letting them fall. Um, yeah, so here's one more thing that you can do. Now, unfortunately, you need to select them all and then uh, click simulate. But here's another cool thing. Maybe I'm not sure if it's um necessarily like what you were thinking, but I think it's a cool little. Oh my God, I did not want that to happen. So that went haywire. So what you can do, and let me just do it here, and I'll show you. So you can, once you have this simulation happening, you can select one of the objects and just start moving them around. So you can like clear some of these boxes, and then you can like place them up again. Like hit K and save their positions. But yeah, I think for now this is how it's gonna be. Okay. Yeah, so let's save all this stuff. Go back into the main level and end the stream on seeing how this looks, with the lighting in there and see what we get. Um, oh, I got a disappointment feeling right now. What's going on? Where are the... Oh, interesting. How did they end up getting moved over like that? Oh, I'm wondering if I, what? Oh, that is so interesting. I stupidly, instead of doing them on the hotel level, it seems Unreal is smart enough to deal with people like myself. I put them onto that main level. So my bad. Let me go back into that persistent level basically. So instead of having those assets like these ones, be in the let's see, where's my be in the hotel interior level. So I had the persistent level selected, so that's why. Let's go ahead and world outliner. I'm gonna grab all these suitcases and move them over into the hotel interior level along with the blocking volume, the cardboard boxes, and the pizza boxes. Okay, I think those might have been it. Now, the only thing is, um, so we don't forget, those items still simulate physics, so we might want to turn them off. Let's go ahead and show the interior level, then suitcases. Let's turn off simulate physics, then cardboard boxes as well, and the pizza boxes. All right, so now I should be able to save it, and I hope that once we're back into the main level, um, that issue doesn't is not there anymore. So let's see. It's not necessary for when dropping on uneven terrain like stairs. I see, I see. Okay. Yeah, I think I think I get it. I get where you're coming from, Scheme. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. We have these packed up onto that. The only issue is this little piece here. Um, oh, huh, I forgot to move this one as well. Oh God. So I wasn't paying attention. Let's go ahead and I'll just edit this real quick. And this one, I'll cut it out of there. Commit changes. Um, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna need to. This is called Greg's 13. So this needs to be deleted. All right, so back in here in my interiors, I can go ahead and paste this and make sure that I'm applying the same transformation. And there we go. I think that's better. There's still some things that I need to fix, namely with this window there. But there we go. So we have those kind of this area that would block the player from going up the stairs and going up there. And yeah, I'm just gonna need to. What happened to it? It got blown out of size scale. Oh, because I was like scaling it weirdly. Let's lift this up. am I even doing that part? I just need to just duplicate this one. Just like that. There we go. Okay, that's better and easier. Okay, so things blocked going up those steps. So therefore, you're gonna go up these steps and going up these steps, and you're gonna meet some folks there, and we're probably gonna block this off the same way that we did with on that side. All right. Um, so guys, that's gonna be it for today. Hopefully there was something interesting to see, something um, to chat about. And I hope to see you tomorrow. If in case anything shows up, I usually post it on Twitter and my Reddit whenever I stream. Of course, just schedule it through YouTube. So hopefully people get notifications. I'm not sure if there's like that bell icon that needs to be turned on to get notifications, or I think it would show up in YouTube. But um, yeah, I hope to see you all tomorrow for the continuation of this. And yeah, so by then, hopefully I'll fix some of these minor issues with some of the clipping, like I was telling you about this one here. And yeah, we'll continue some of this work tomorrow. We'll maybe add some of the NPCs in here and see how they react when we get up close to them. Okay. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. A little bit longer than our usual 2 hours, and I hope to see you tomorrow. All right, take care, everybody.